Hi, folks. Welcome to the Chaikin Minute. I'm David Shulin. Excited to be here with you today to talk about ETF constituents, the holdings of stocks held within ETFs. Now, we talk a lot at Chaikin Analytics about taking a top-down approach to investing. What do I mean by that? Well, thinking big, thinking index level or growth versus value or large or small, thinking sector level, different ETFs, finding where the strength is in the market at a high level and slowly whittling it down until you find the strongest stocks within those strong groups. A rising tide lifts all boats. Chaikin Analytics is very much about a weight of the evidence approach and skewing the odds in our favor through multiple data points. So if we found strong parts of the market, the strongest stocks within those are more likely to perform or outperform. So finding the holdings inside particular strong ETFs can be very useful. And today I wanted to show you the many ways you can find the holdings inside a particular ETF. Here we are looking at a list of the Spider Sectors ETF. We are currently on the chart for XLC, the Communications Sector ETF. Now, we do not see the constituents for XLC at this time, but there are a number of different ways we can do that. The first way when you are viewing a ETF chart is simply to click on the ticker. Look what happens when I hover my mouse over the ticker and the chart header. You can see it highlights, it said load ETF holdings in watch list, and a click right here will bring all of the holdings inside XLC into our list. Now from here, we can go through each of them, focus initially, of course, maybe on the bullish stocks inside this group and run through the different stocks. What if I wasn't already looking at the chart? Maybe I wanted to look a little closer at technology. Okay, I could search XLK in the search box. And you'll notice for an ETF, different than for a stock, we have a third icon here. So the icon on the far right, which is here for stocks as well, is the chart icon. By clicking this chart squiggly line icon, I will see the chart for XLK. If I click the plus, I can add XLK to my currently highlighted user list. It's not what we want to do. This third icon is a list icon. Looks just like three lines, but in clicking this list icon, I will see A, the chart for XLK, but B, all of the constituents held within XLK will come into our list here. We can see it now says XLK. Notice the difference. If I just searched XLC and hit enter or hit the chart button, I see the chart for XLC, but the constituents have not changed. This is still XLK over here on the left, right? You'll notice that we are highlighting ETFs down here on the left. This is another way that you can look up the constituents inside an ETF, which is in your list panel on the left side. Click US Equity ETFs and find the ETF that is listed here. We are shortcutting that by giving the option of searching and then hitting the list button in the top left corner. But perhaps you wanted to focus on a particular materials or financial ETF, right? By coming through the financials, looking for what you want, it's XLF I was looking for, it will chart XLF and bring all of the stocks inside that ETF into your list. There is another way to find the constituents inside a particular ETF, and that's through the help of our ETF Comparison Tool. Let's click ETF Comparison. Now, the ETF Comparison Tool allows you to compare ETFs to their particular groups. So the first groups we see are the sectors, the subsectors, and index ETFs, and that gets a little more specific, focused on all communication ETFs or all discretionary ETFs. As an example, we can look at style. Maybe you're focusing only on large cap growth in the current environment, or you think there's opportunity in small cap value in the future, et cetera. You can see that information here. But as we're looking at a particular group, we can click on the individual ETFs. And in doing so here inside our ETF comparison tool, we see that the information about that ETF appears below. And that includes the top holdings inside the ETF. Here, we can see the top 7 holdings in the ETF by percentage. In this case, inside XLE, we can see ExxonMobil and others, ExxonMobil being over 22% of the particular ETF. And to see all of the stocks inside this ETF, click See All in Workspace. Guess where this is going to bring us and what it's going to do? Brings us right back into the workspace, highlighting the ETF and showing us the chart and all the stocks inside that group. So here we can view all of the stocks in the workspace, but if we wanted to see the largest holdings by percentage, we would need to go to the ETF Comparison Tool to do that. Keep in mind, you can search an ETF in the ETF Comparison Tool, just like you could in the workspace. So perhaps we wanted to look at real estate. If we chart this here, hit Enter on our keyboard, it will now show us XLRE compared to all other real estate ETFs. And we can see it down at the bottom. We can see the top holdings. American Tower is the top holding, and so on and so forth. And of course, again, See All in Workspace will bring us back to the workspace. We could now focus, if we wanted to, on the bullish stocks here inside the real estate sector ETF. I hope this is helpful in understanding ways you can use the Chaikin Analytics tool to find strong stocks and strong groups.